Hi, and welcome to this episode of Invest in Your Marriage. So, we're going to take a few minutes and process what humility in marriage looks like. So, this concept of humility is something that is very important in marriage and something that we all need. I know that I need more humility in my life and want to extend and offer that to my spouse, and I want that from him. So, C.S. Lewis says humility is not thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less. So selfishness is something that all of us struggle at some point or another. Like why me? Like do this for me. I need your help here. Like why aren't you thinking of me? You didn't listen to me. It's a very me focused kind of situation that we all I do think at times struggle with. But humility could be defined as having an accurate understanding of who you are, which leads to treating others as more important than yourself. That's a quote that comes out of some re-engaged curriculum that I think is it's powerful. Like I want to have that in my marriage, and I know that my husband wants that as well. But humility, what does that look like in real life? What does that look like, in the middle of our home? So it can look like just serving your spouse more. Like they do certain things every day. Like there's certain tasks that each one of us kind of manage or carry within our home. So maybe it's that I need to serve my spouse by occasionally just taking over one of their chores or doing something that would truly just be a blessing to them. I handle most of the traditional homemaker stuff in our home, even though I work outside of the home. So when my husband steps up and really participates with helping me cook dinner or helping me fold some of the laundry, it truly is a blessing for me. He always takes out the trash. But occasionally when I see that it's full, instead of smooshing it down and waiting on him to do it, like sometimes I take it out just to be a blessing to him and to participate in that. So maybe that's one way that you can start expressing more humility in your marriage. Another way that we can express humility in our marriage and live that out is to not always have to be right about driving, about directions, about parenting, about which restaurant we should go to. Like sometimes you don't have the best ideas. One person in the marriage can't always have the best ideas and always be right. So that's one simple way. It's just to recognize that you don't have to always be the one that's right. Another way that we can express humility is to ask for forgiveness. There's a whole Invest in Your Marriage video about the art of the apology that I would encourage you to watch if you haven't already. But we've started practicing, like we've been married 26 years now, and we've started practicing, apologizing much more frequently about the big things and also about the small things. So just apologizing when you've been in the wrong. And that looks like, I apologize for being sarcastic with you earlier. I could see that on your face that was hurtful, and I was just trying to be funny and it wasn't funny. I apologize. Will you forgive me? Like that's a simple apology. I apologize that I didn't get up when you were unloading the groceries and you had to do all that by yourself. I should have been more helpful. I apologize. Will you forgive me? Like there's just really simple ways that you can ask for forgiveness and incorporate that kind of humility into your relationship. Another way to practice humility in your marriage is to study your spouse. Like, know them, intentionally pay attention. Like, watch the things that they browse on Amazon. What is it something that they kind of want, but they're not going to ask for it because they don't want you to spend money on them? Or, what is their favorite, 5 o'clock beverage? Is it a big glass of iced tea with 2 squeezes of lemon in it? Like study your spouse, because as you get to really know them and pay attention to them, then it's beautiful humility to be able to bless them with things and in ways that they didn't even know you were aware of. That is an opportunity for us to show our spouse that they're important to us and that we're not always, consumed with the kids or the house or the list or the job or all the other things, but that we really are thinking of ourselves less and thinking of them more. Celebrating your spouse's success. That is another tip to experiencing more humility in your marriage. I have no idea why this happens, but a lot of us get really competitive with our spouses. Like, I'm tired. Well, I'm more tired. Well, I did this today. Well, I did this today. Like, in this really weird, competitive comparison kind of way. But when your spouse has a success and you celebrate that, that takes humility, because for a minute they get the limelight, and that's you celebrating that and wanting that. So that's one of the positive ways that you really can use social media. So social media can be a negative part of marriage and something that draws you away from each other, but it also can be a blessing. When you brag on your spouse's success, or you really esteem that in that way, it is a beautiful way to express um, some humility in your marriage. So again, humility is a Christ-like quality. And if you know you're really struggling with selfishness and pride, or if your spouse is, you're not going to call that out in them, but you can pray that there would be a more humble heart in both of us as husband and wife, that we would treat each other the way that we want to be treated, and that we would be clothed in humility in everything that we do. Thanks for joining us. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. And thanks for checking out Invest in Your Marriage. Y'all have a great day.